Camp Calvary, what's up, what's up, what's up? It is Thursday. Can you believe it? The week has flown by. Unbelievable. But here's my hope for you guys. My hope is that today, even though your energy levels are probably really, really low, and you're probably really drained from a long week of just having fun and learning about God and growing closer to Jesus and eating tons and tons and tons of junk food, I'm sure. Even though you're drained, I want you to focus today. All right, because today we're going to talk about something that I believe more than any of the other days can truly change the way you look at your life. Okay, and today our theme for the day is wear the crown. Wear the crown. All right, now for me growing up, one of my favorite things in the world was professional wrestling. And I'm not talking about the lame little stuff like in high school gyms where you wear a unitard and you wrestle around a little mat. I'm talking about the real stuff. I'm talking about off the top turnbuckle, elbow drop, Macho Man Randy Savage style. Okay, if you even know who that is, just pat yourself on the back right now. All right, I love professional wrestling. I love everything about it. Wrestling is all about one thing: who's the champion, right? Who is the winner? Who is victorious? And the thing that every wrestler wants more than anything is to stand up and to hoist the championship belt, right? He wants to be able to stand there and to say that he is the champion. And here I have my replica championship belt, which I will be wearing while I sleep tonight. But this is what everyone wants. Everyone wants to be the winner, right? And so for me, I had my favorites. I had Hulk Hogan. How can you not love Hulk Hogan? Loved Hulk Hogan. And oftentimes he was the champion. But like most good things in life, wrestling was ruined for me at one point, okay? I had a friend, and this is when I was about middle schoolish age, early middle school, so I'd kind of just left the elementary days. I had a friend who came up to me and he said, "You know wrestling's fake, right?" And I went, "What? No, it's not. Be quiet, shut up." He's like, "No, I'm serious. Wrestling is fake. It is completely fake. They're actors, and they predetermine the winners. They even have writers who write out the scripts of what the wrestlers are going to say and how each match is going to go. It's a complete fraud. All of it's fake." And I was just defeated. I was like, "Are you kidding me? This has been my favorite thing growing up, and now you're telling me that it's a complete hoax and it's fake?" And I was just defeated, man. I hated it. I was so mad to find out that wrestling was fake and that it was fixed and that the ending, the winner of the match was predetermined. It was crazy to me. And what's crazy is whenever I found out that wrestling was fixed and it was fake, that next week was actually supposed to be the time when I went to see my first live wrestling event. My first live wrestling event. There's a good friend of mine who had bought tickets for us to go and to see a live wrestling event front and center, all right? So you can imagine beforehand I was really excited, but once I found out that it was fake, I was just bored. I didn't want to go to it, but my friend dragged me to it, and like a good friend, I went. I'll never forget that experience. I'll never forget going there. And we actually got there about 2 or 3 hours early. We got there early with the intention of going down as close as we could to the ring and seeing some of the wrestlers and kind of getting the inside scoop, right? Which again, I didn't really care because I knew it was fake. But it was crazy because once I got down there, I kind of envisioned the ring to be this big pillow, right? Now that I knew it was fake, now that I knew it was fixed, I had no mercy on these guys. I just assumed that the ring would be real cushy and that when they jump off the turnbuckle or when they get body slammed, it doesn't even hurt them. But it was crazy because I got to touch the ring that they fight in, and it was not a pillow. It was hard as a rock actually, right? And then I saw some of these wrestlers come by and sign autographs. I saw them up close in person, and they had bruises all over their bodies. I mean, actual bruises. It wasn't like makeup bruises. These were actual real bruises. It was like the fights that they were in, no doubt they were predetermined and the winner was chosen beforehand and they're sort of acting it out, but the battle was still real. The pain was still there. And I thought to myself, man, this is the perfect illustration of what the Christian life is all about, right? This is the perfect illustration. Because following Jesus is not easy. You know, we've been talking about that all week with finish the race, right? With running this race with endurance, with fighting the fight, with all these things we've been talking about. We know that following Jesus is not easy. And we are in a battle that is very, very real. And my prayer is that this week that you've been strengthened and equipped and encouraged to fight that fight with even greater success as you leave. But this is very similar to what we see in wrestling, that the battle is real and these struggles are painful, but the winner The champion, the one who's victorious, is already determined. Jesus has already won. He is already the champion, okay? The battle has already been fought. The winner has already been determined, and it's Jesus. You can look through the Bible and you can see that the winner's already been determined. Jesus defeated death on the cross. Jesus died so that your sins could be forgiven, and in doing so, He defeated Satan. So I'm telling you, what you see in wrestling is such a good comparison to what we see in the Christian life. That even though your struggles are real and they're difficult, in the end, Jesus wins. It's already been determined. And you can take comfort in that today. You can take comfort in that. And so today, as you go out to spend your quiet time, your devotional time with Jesus this morning, I want you to focus on a few things. I want you to look back on your life. I want you to look back on the battles in your life that Jesus has already won for you. And so maybe for you, that's something really specific. Like maybe you went through a rough time in your family where maybe your parents' marriage was falling apart, but you saw God restore them and they survived through that and didn't get divorced. That's a victory that Jesus won on your behalf. Maybe for some of you, it was a sin addiction, that you were addicted to some sin and just felt enslaved to it. But now because of Jesus, you've been freed from that. Maybe for you, it's just a life change. Like you look at who you were and the person that you were getting ready to become, and now you look at who you are because of Jesus and you think, man, I am totally changed, I'm totally transformed, and that is a victory. That's something that Jesus has done for you. He has won the victory. The victory is His. So I want you to go out, I want you to spend some time looking at your life and looking back on some things that Jesus has already done for you, some battles that He has already won for you. Then after that, I want you to answer this question. If Jesus has already won the battle, right, and in the end, Satan loses and Jesus wins, and as long as we're following Jesus, we're going to be okay, right? If that's true, if Jesus has already won the battle, the victory is His, how does that change how we live? How should that change your thoughts on a day-to-day basis? How should that change your actions? Are there some things that you shouldn't be doing? Are there some things you should be doing? So I want you to think about that. If Jesus has already won, and in the end, He is victorious no matter what, there's no question about it, and if we follow Him, we are going to be victorious. If that's true, how does that change your life right here, right now? Lastly, what I want you to do today is I want you to spend some time going through and reading the crucifixion and resurrection accounts in the Bible. I want you to spend some time praying over and reading over the very words that describe to you the battle that Jesus won for you. Because regardless of where you are on your spiritual journey, regardless of what's happened in your life, everyone in the world can say that God has defeated two things for them. One, He's defeated death. When Jesus died, He didn't just die, He came back to life, right? He resurrected so that none of us have to fear death. That's a huge battle that Jesus has won for us, for those who believe in Him. But also the issue of sin, the fact that Jesus dying on the cross has provided a way for you to be forgiven of your sin. So I want you to go back and reread how Jesus was crucified, how He was buried, and how He rose again from the dead. And I want you to let that sit on your heart and sit on your soul and really impress on you the fact that God has already won the victory and that you can take comfort in that. There's nothing in this world that can shake us. There's nothing in this world that can defeat us because Jesus has already won.